Hello and welcome to Milazon Combat Interviews. Today I have a special spotlight with Gail, one of the proprietors of the SS Endless Embrace, that will be premiering at March of It. Hi, Gail. How are you today?
Awake, unfortunately, but aside from that, I'm doing all right.
Thank you for coming on today. I'm really excited to learn about the SS Endless Embrace and its goals. So, what exactly is the SS Endless Embrace?
The Endless Embrace is a tent similar to the Tooth and Hookah in that it is providing a social space both during the day and in the evening. A place for people to come in, hang out. We will have a few things going on in the daytime, a few things going on in the evening. Just another social outlet to add atmosphere to the events.
So you would say that the goal of this new initiative is to encourage RP and more ambiance to events?
Yes, partly the tent itself is going to be adding the ambiance in just having a social space, especially with what we have planned for the evenings. During the day, it is mostly going to be an area where people can come in and work on their various crafts. I've noticed a lot of times that a lot of people just work on their crafts right along the side of the battlefield, and often that is in direct sunlight, no shade, and I'm just watching everybody slowly get more and more sunburnt. And just, I would love to have a space where people can come in, get out of the weather for a bit, especially if it's raining or, God forbid, snowing, and have a place to work on their crafts without the possibility of getting hit by a stray arrow.
Yeah, that sounds amazing. As someone who does a lot of A&S and crafting myself, that sounds awesome, especially as a place to convene with other Amtgarders. So, what times will the SS Endless Embrace be open for players to hang out?
Generally, it'll be open pretty much throughout the day. During the daytime is mostly going to be a crafting space, like I mentioned. I don't tend to fight much anymore, so I'm more than happy to be in there making sure the place doesn't get beaten to the ground as long as there's not something else I'm actively doing. And during the evenings, we do have a few special activities planned, but we'll get into that a little bit later. So generally, it's going to be open almost 24 hours throughout the event, assuming, you know, it's not open while we're sleeping.
Well, that's really cool. With this in mind, with how diverse the hours of operation are there any rules specific to entering the SS Endless Embrace that players should be aware of?
Be respectful of the other people that are in there. Number one, absolutely. During the day, if there's a lot of people working on crafts, try not to come in there, start chatting, being very, very loud and chatting somebody's ear off. You might be distracting to the other people who just wanted a quiet space to work on their stuff. That's obviously not to say don't come in and start talking to someone. Just be mindful. Try to keep the volume at a somewhat reasonable level. Alcohol isn't strictly forbidden. During the day, I would rather not have it in there. Just let's be real. Nobody really needs to be day drinking. Let's let's just be responsible about that. In the evening, it's not expressly forbidden. We will not be serving any alcohol. So anything you bring in, just hey, be mindful. Some people might not want everybody drunk and very loud in here. And absolutely, hands off the crafts unless somebody gives you explicit permission to touch and look at it. Let's be respectful of other people's work, please.
Yeah, and so just to clarify, can people leave their crafts in there? Like, say they're working on something in between games, can they leave it in there while they do a battle game? Or would you prefer that they take it with them?
No, yes, absolutely, they can leave it in there. That was also actually part of something I was looking into doing during the day to see how it would go. Having people display their finished crafts just to show off to people. I know there are a lot of people that love making things, but absolutely hate the ANS competition culture. And I would love to give those people an avenue to show off their work in a way where they're not feeling like they're being scrutinized over every piece of their work.
Wow, and I absolutely love that. That's really cool, especially for all the different ANS people. As someone who kind of gets iffy about competitions herself, I really appreciate that you're opening up another space for people to display their crafts. What made you start this initiative, and who has started and grown this idea with you?
I mostly just started it as a way, like I said earlier, I've over the years seen so many people just lined up on battlefields working on their crafts, being it crocheting something. I've seen a few people work on chainmail, and I would look like I always saw everybody just out in the weather because of a lack of almost anywhere else to go, except for the pavilion. And often there is something going on in there. It's very loud. It's hard to focus sometimes, especially for people like me who have ADHD. And so I wanted to be able to create a space where people could come in, work on their stuff without any other distractions or interruptions going on. I know I had talked a lot with the Tooth and Hookah crowd on what I could do to foster this idea without stepping on their toes. Those are all very dear friends of mine. I respect them greatly. I did not want to feel at all like I was intruding on their idea. Somebody who's actually helping me run the tent and is part of this is Jasper. They've been really helpful and really encouraging in building on the idea of what the space is going to be, what we can offer, and just so encouraging of this idea in and of itself.
So, building on when you mentioned the Tooth and Hookah, is there a specific way that you hope that the SS Endless Embrace integrates with other existing establishments? Or is it kind of like you're more trying to make sure that there wasn't too much overlap?
For the most part, it was I wanted to make sure there wasn't too much overlap. I wanted it to be clear that while this was another space for people to go to, I was not trying to kind of intrude on their, shall we say, market space in the ambiance of events. I know, especially in the nightlife, Tooth and Hookah is extremely popular to the point where often they have to tell people to maybe keep the volume down, myself included, once. So I wanted to be able to have more space, have more areas for people to go to without feeling like it was just more of an identical space. That's why I wanted to make sure I differentiated myself, but also I know in in lore, the Tooth and Hookah is a desert oasis. In lore, my tent is actually the hold of my character's airship. It is just, I have parked my airship here. I have opened the hold for people to come in, do their thing.
And I think that it's really interesting that you brought such a unique idea of having the hull of an airship be your space. Like, from an RP aspect, I think that is absolutely wonderful. After March event, what is your long-term vision for the SS Endless Embrace? Do you have any plans for events after March event, Kingdom or Grand Duchy?
Yes, absolutely. I plan to be at every Kingdom event. God's willing, I'm able to attend said event. Grand Duchy, I'm a little less certain. It would mostly depend on site real estate, quite frankly. To be extremely blunt, because I live in Midgard. If this was at Forest Lake, I am not sure I would want to set up any kind of tent at that site. There is so little space to begin with, and I have had horrible experiences camping at that site. I do not want to inflict that upon myself again. If it's at a different site, assuming there is space, I am more than open to the idea of having it at a Grand Duchy event. And if I were to visit a Lockhaven or Evan March event, I would absolutely be down, assuming I was welcomed by those by those grand duchies to host it. I don't have any immediate plans for any grand duchy events, but the long-term goal is every kingdom event, assuming I am able to make it to that event.
So, are you planning on having any specific events or activities in the SS Endless Embrace? Are you planning on extending that RP somehow into the future, possibly? I'm really excited about it, so.
Yes, so that actually brings me into what I said I wanted to talk about earlier. So, like I said, during the day, it is mostly intended to be a crafting space for people to come in, work on their stuff, do whatever. At night, we're going to have two things. Jasper is going to be offering tea service. We will actually have two custom drinks at March event. I am looking forward to seeing everybody's reaction to both of those. I am quite excited. I don't want to give away what they are just yet. I want there to be some kind of surprise, but I am extremely excited for them. But and it's on top of that, we will be having workshops where people are able to come in and work on their persona, be it their persona's backstory. Maybe they want to workshop a specific character that they're doing. I know so many Amtgarders have multiple characters that they play throughout, their tenure as a player. And if there's a specific character you want to flesh out a bit, I am more than welcome to provide a space to help with that. We're also going to have storytelling competitions. How it would essentially work is you'll come in, everybody will go around a circle telling a story. It could be a story of a particular memorable battle game you were part of. It could be a so no shit there I was kind of story, or it could just be a story you make up entirely, whole cloth. At the end of the night, whoever tells the best story, we plan on giving some kind of little trinket to, be it a belt favor or like a flag or some sort, or some kind of something similar to a gate trinket. Just something to say, hey, I told the best story tonight.
That sounds so fun. Oh my gosh. I can't wait to see that because it definitely reminds me of Bardic circles back in the day when everyone would kind of just sit around, tell stories around a fire, that kind of thing. So I really love that community aspect. By the way, where will you be located at March event?
I will say, just as a quick aside, the Bardic Circle, that was actually part of the inspiration. I remember, going to Kingdom events a decade ago, and there being half a dozen Bardic fires spread out throughout the entire event, and I really missed that. I wanted to bring at least a little bit of that energy back to the current state of Kingdom events. As far as where we will be set up, I'm not specifically sure. I have yet to actually figure out exactly where the best space specifically the tent will be in. I know that it will be around the same area the Tooth and Hookah is, possibly in the area that the Staggered Hound used to be in. I know they're not really doing much at events very much these days. That's at least based on the knowledge that I have. But specifically where, not 100% sure. Once we get set up at March event, there will be pictures taken to be like, okay, here's where we are. Anybody that wants to come see us at our grand opening, please come check us out.
And as a side note, when you set up for March event, would you like help setting up?
Yes, absolutely. Anybody that is able to come and help us out, please do so. I do not want to spend 3 hours setting it up by myself only to realize I did something wrong. That would be so helpful. I should be getting there on Thursday, fingers crossed. So if anybody is there on Thursday and would love to help me set out, it would be very greatly appreciated.
Yeah, so I asked that as an aside, I asked that because I remember helping Alea set up the Tooth and Hookah once at Keep, and we were like lots of setup, so I just wanted to make sure that you had some help, or maybe get people thinking about volunteering at least.
Yeah, absolutely. I know. I believe Jasper is also going to be getting there around the same time I am. and they'll also be there to help get us set up and everything. But anybody that would be willing to come help us get set up, get everything looking nice and pretty, feel free to do so. Find me. I am not hard to find. Anybody that has ever seen me at an event knows it is not hard to find me.
Thank you. And last but not least, what specific aspects are you the most excited about opening up the SS Endless Embrace March event?
I would have to say I'm extremely excited about the quite frankly, I'm very excited about all of it. I am extremely excited for the storytelling aspect. I'm so excited to see what stories everybody would bring to it. I want to see the widest possible variety of stories. I would love to see somebody come in and make up a story on the spot that is just absolutely hilarious. I'm also extremely excited for the drinks that we're going to be serving. If for no other reason than I would love to see everybody's reactions to them. And I'm so excited to see what kind of crafts people come in and start working on. I will say we will not have it at March. This is something I plan for future events. We will be having specific, not necessarily easels, but something to that effect for people to display their works while they are off around the event doing other things. Unfortunately, logistics just prevented us from acquiring those for March.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you so much for coming on. I absolutely love that you are opening up a space for, those doing ANS, non-combatants, and a place where people can really role play and feel the ambiance of the event. And I also really love how you're bringing back some of the old school Amtgard vibes into it. Thank you very much, Gail, for coming on today.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for listening to this podcast. If you'd like to hear more about non-combat participants in Amtgard, consider clicking on the like and subscribe buttons. This lets me know you like my content and would like to listen to more in the future. If you would like someone specific to be interviewed, or you'd like to have me interview you, please reach out to my Discord server at Mellafalaman or message me on Facebook using my real name, Megan McLean. Thank you!